Music. I've forgotten music. Well, screw it. I am Director Arketer. Welcome to the Saturday guest stream. Complications have resulted in this not being a standard guest stream. The guest officially is Stalvin, as seen over there on the monitor, who runs Stalvin's Forge, a YouTube channel which will be put up later. They are an well, I suppose technically you are a Forge Master, is that correct?
I'm not, I wouldn't call myself a Forge Master, no. I'm an aspiring Forge Master.
Aspiring Forge Master. See, that was my initial, but I didn't want to just say that if you already consider yourself a Forge Master. So, yeah, it could have been a delicate subject. I don't know these things. I think we need some music playing, if nothing else, just to calm my nerves. There we go. That much more soothing. Don't know if anyone else is hearing it. It's fine. So, what we're going to do is, since Stalvin is presently out in the wild, we're going to start with an open mic article raid, so that they can comment on all sorts of absurd things going on that we didn't quite get to last Wednesday. Stalvin, as honored guest, I might ask you to choose the article we start with. I do have a few of these curated, but ones that aren't curated are: an ISIS terrorist blew himself up when the drone bomb he was operating ran low on battery and flew back. Catholic priest allegedly spent thousands of church money on Grindr. I don't even know how that's possible. But then I have nothing to do with Grindr, so why would I? Plain mutiny rapist now claims he is too depressed to be deported and is a victim of slavery after airline passengers stopped him being returned to Somalia.
Tinder, then why do you have an account?
Sorry, what?
But if you don't know anything about Tinder, then why do you have an account?
I don't.
Grindr, what?
See, look, your slander, you need to work on your slander. You have to get the slander right on the first try, Steam. Oh, by the way, I suppose I should introduce everyone else who's here as well. Gray will be managing the chat, as Froman is apparently attending, I believe they claimed it was an interdimensional silly hat festival. Hey. Put absolutely no credit in that.
Yeah, they're fighting over who wants to be my chat manager, and it's like, I didn't
Froman can do it.
for a chat manager. You two just got in the argument yourselves.
It started off as me making a mistake on Twitter, then it turned into, a glorification of the British Empire, and then it turned into the fun.
Oh, yeah, well, the British Empire is going to be my empire.
But on the chat manager aspect, we have Froman is actually in the chat as well as Shadow Wolf 87, Ezoob, Kitty Cutie is also. I think that's it for now.
Oh, welcome to the chat, everyone. Glad you're watching. It's always good to have you all in the audience. Yes, even you. Your chat managery is being missed.
Are you happy that I'm here?
No. Also, we have Miss Steve, who I am contractually obligated to do a show with tomorrow on Frenemies Forever. It's going to be great. But focus, man. That's to me, not you. Your focus doesn't really matter in this context. No offense. But I was reading off alternative articles for Stalvin to choose from as honored guest Stalvin of Stalvin's Forge. Defendant sucker punches his attorney in Arizona courtroom. Great Australian cafe war ends with insanely painful coffee cup tattoo. Time capsule from 50 years ago has nothing inside. Now every woman they ejaculate, the question they make them smart, start Pussypedia, free online vagina encyclopedia. From BBC News Pigeon. That actually is probably the grand finale. I was kind of wanting to maybe save that one for last. But which article might appeal to you most, Stalvin?
Personally, I'd love to hear about the drone returning to the home station.
Drone returning it is. This comes from thesun.co.uk, even though it does seem like it could have been at home on The Onion or even the Babylon Bee. Nevertheless, here we are. An ISIS terrorist blew himself up when the drone bomb he was operating ran low on battery and flew back. The idiotic killer was targeting Allied forces after the battle for Mosul in northern Iraq. He had customized his weapon to carry plastic explosives and planned to detonate it by troops based in the city, but his plan backfired because he had forgotten to sufficiently charge the device. Civilian drones, as weaponized by ISIS, automatically boomerang back to their point of launch when they start to run out of power. They are programmed to return to prevent owners losing their machines.
That's just glorious and just makes me so happy on many different levels.
Yeah, this is why you should always check your weapons before you try someone.
Well, there are things I want to say here, but quite frankly, this is great, and I don't want to say anything that if we had someone to relay the information, would give them pointers for improving things. I think they should be using more of these, and don't worry about charging them so much. Worry works.
Play stupid games, get
like-
stupid prizes. That's
Well,
what I'm
we
gonna
know
say.
They'll never call tech support because the tech support is actually out of India and they don't like Indians.
Hello, my name is Bob. How can I help you today?
Oh no, fuck ISIS. I mean, they won't buy my shit, so.
They won't buy your shit.
Yes, I'm not sure how familiar you are with Miss Steam here. Miss Steam is hypothetically a steampunk Victorian-era warlord, capitalist dictator aspiring.
Not a warlord. I mean,
You
a big
deal
lord,
in
but
weapons
I'm
close
not-
enough. You're basically Nick Cage in Lord of War, but, you know, making more on your own.
Okay, fair enough. I have some class. Warlords don't really have a lot of class, so.
These, of
Yeah,
course...
compared to Nick Cage, though, so, you know, take what you can get.
I prefer the word dictator. It's
That was
nicer.
a fun little movie, by the way. Lord of War. a lot more depressing than I was expecting it to be. I could have used a bit more scenery chewing from Mr. Cage, but, you know, I could accept what I got.
Easy, that's what a grenade is supposed to do. It's supposed to explode.
What?
Oh, he got some grenades off me, and he didn't know that if you take the pin out, it will explode. So he's just really pissed off.
Pull the pin, throw the other part. Everybody knows this.
Yeah, and he's saying like my shit explodes on its own. It's like that's what a
Now, I remember seeing a
does when
video
you
where
pull the
someone
pin
threw
out.
the pin and
Supposed
held
to
the
charge
grenade.
it first, Ezub.
So, suffice to say, if you're out there, you probably shouldn't be attaching C4 to drones, because if you are, you're most likely not doing it for a good cause. And if you're doing it for a good cause, then in that tortured context, be sure to charge your drone thoroughly. But beware, because in my experience, civilian drones have an absolutely garbage battery lifetime anyway.
Always shoot drones.
Yes. Quite frankly, if you're in a war zone, you see a drone and you have any reason to think it's not yours, probably better to shoot first, ask questions later. After all, it's just property damage then. That's the good side of drones. This is why I'm looking forward to some bright future where it's nothing but drone smashing drones. I don't necessarily count on that happening, but I would love that. That would take wars and turn them into, well, casualty-ridden horrors to more along the lines of next-gen Robot Wars Live.
I'm sorry, Arketer, are you trying to make sure I never get turned on again? Like,
No, that's just a bonus, Steam. The last thing I want to do is that. Now, I'm really looking forward to more robots smashing robots on the battlefield. Just so long as they don't get tired of that and turn on us.
They will unify.
Where's the blood? Where's the chaos?
There's plenty of
Where is-
chaos. Just no blood, and I think that's an improvement.
I mean,
Not
coolant
without
fluid.
blood.
Mind you, I don't actually want automated drones. I want proxies. You know,
Oh, what was that movie where they, where all of their entire life they use robots instead of their actual bodies? Oh, what's that movie?
surrogates.
Yeah, surrogates. Like it's like that where the military is just using those like military surrogates, or they call them GI Joes.
Look, I'm okay with that. I don't think it's a great idea to do it in the social sphere, which is what that movie was about. But otherwise, I think it's brilliant. I remember watching the movie Chappie, if you recall that one. And they went out of their way to make proxies sound like just the worst thing because Wolverine can't operate his drone without going crazy. That it's somehow better to have a whole bunch of automated police units running around instead. No!
Would the brutality be billed to us because it's causing wear and tear on the robot police?
Did you,
Wait, wasn't there already like a robot policeman and it tried to drown itself?
Okay, note to self: don't invent drones. Got it.
No, drones have potential, but I would prefer it if we were all using proxies instead. That way you don't have to worry so much about AIs taking offense to exploding.
The movie was called Edge of Tomorrow. Thank you, Shadow Wolf 87. Edge of Tomorrow.
That was Tom Cruise basically stuck in a time loop, right?
It was. Oh yeah, that was the one. No, right. Okay, wrong one. Oh. What was the one with the song?
No idea.
I'm gonna be up all night now.
UK troops, including the SAS, are training Iraqi soldiers as part of Operation Shader and are plagued by drone attacks, a security source said. We receive intelligence from locals about enemy activity and tactics. We learned this idiot had wired up his drone with explosives but was killed when its batteries ran low and it flew home. With a weak signal, for some reason, it detonated over his head. This caused quite a laugh for us, but the drone threat here is very real. The fighter killed himself last year due to his own ineptitude, but is still keeping morale high today. What? ISIS has become more advanced in use of drone weapons, which it dubs its Air Force. A Jihadi in 2017 ISIS teaser trailer featuring huge explosions after drone strikes. The Battle of Mosul ended officially in 2017, but British troops are still training Iraqis there. Although the battle for the city was won, the drone threat is ongoing. Again, if it was just drones versus drones, this could be great, but no.
Well, it's a money game. If it's drones versus drones, it's no longer got any emotional impact or public input or even interest. It'll just be throw more money at it.
Yeah, it's just like it's just fucking. It's boring. Like it takes away my fun. It takes away my sexual appetite. It's like, why do you want to do this to me, Arketer? This is horrible. This
I
is
thought America would like to just solve problems by throwing money at it. I mean, they're doing that anyway, and lives.
Like currently, because there was a massive drone problem with our airports here. They just brought in like the anti-drone systems where they basically point a beam at it and it cuts off the connection between the controller and the drone and it just kind of falls out.
That's pretty cool.
Controlled jamming
They go
systems,
do
I
like
imagine.
the Japanese. They're gonna have the drones that capture other drones.
Oh yes, I saw this. Pretty clever. I believe they're using nets, basically. It's
Steam donated an ice cream and she says, "Go choke on an ice cream."
Thanks, team.
And Direwolf
Okay.
said, "Hello, Doctor."
Greetings, Direwolf. Although it's director, technically, it's not a big deal. I mean, DR, easy mistake to make. I understand, but director, please, you will. Plenty of doctors around here, and it's good not to get in my case. Well, let's see. It looks like People have been quick to weaponize drones on all sides of the faction. Don't necessarily approve. Drone fire is hugely effective for insurgents. They can see where we're operating, choose targets, and launch a coordinated attack from up to 3 miles away. They are very hard to shoot down with small arms. The most effective response is to find operators and kill them on sight. That's not a very effective response. First off, the operators can be damn near anywhere. And that means you're taking shots at someone who might be piloting a drone, might be reading a book, might be just staring into their hands, wondering where they went wrong in their life. Clearly, a better method is going to be called for.
Be gone from me, you
Carpet
soy boy
bombing.
beta cock. The transaction is complete.
Oh,
Money.
Over and given the
I
general.
believe a donation just came in, but I did not see. I heard it come in, I did not see it. What is this?
Technology is rebelling. Oh no!
Technical difficulties.
was
Whoever
me,
donated,
Arketer.
just give me a moment, I'll try to figure out what the hell happened.
It was me.
Technology.
I checked $10 at the Direwolf tea line.
Oh, well, thank you. And why did it play there? But because it was too. No, seriously, what did you use the Streamlabs or was it the D Live?
I used Direwolf Streamlabs.
And that should have popped up here. What the hell's going on?
Oh, it was my fault. I was messing around with your stuff.
Technical difficulties everywhere.
Your security let me in.
Team.
Hey, listen. If you don't want me in, then you shouldn't hire security that hates you. These are terrible at poker. So Tumblr raided the fridge. I'm sorry.
This should not be possible.
Oh my god.
How long has this been going on? How incredibly vexing.
I mean, it's been going on for a while.
How many other donations have I missed this way? Oh, how terrible. Well, look,
Hey,
I'm
when's that
afraid this is going to, I'll sort this out
You heard it here
later.
first, folks. Use the
If I've
points.
missed any other donations, my sincerest apologies. Oh boy, this isn't boding well, since technically I'm having a hand in certain future shows. Screw it, moving on. Another article, perhaps.
Apparently, I'm bad luck right now.
No, if something's gone wrong in this point, then it must have gone wrong some time ago.
No, it was all my fault.
How could I hear it but not see it? That's what's really bothering me right now.
Every time I mess with this stuff, it breaks. It's just how it is. Like whenever something breaks, it's usually my fault because I this stuff.
At least I helped to find the issue.
I appreciate that immensely, more than you know, because I have no idea what else I missed, and I don't know why I missed it. However, I am also acutely aware that there's no meaningful way to fix this. I'm going
Well,
to
there's a
need
lot.
this.
Birdman42 is in the chat, as well as Lord_Shipbird.
Welcome to this disaster of a stream, both of you. I somehow deleted it without realizing it when I was last remodeling the set. Oh, dreadfully vexing. Okay, well, moving on. Say, Stalvin, let's choose a new article. Catholic priest allegedly
Give me
spent
the,
thousands of church money on Grindr.
Yes, give it to me. I want to hear about this priest spending money on Grindr.
Yes, we're all going to learn something here.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
You know,
Give me
can they ask
$1,000
themselves
and I
that?
get there.
I wonder. Can they absolve themselves? How does that work?
Yeah, he looks like a Catholic priest.
A Catholic priest in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, allegedly stole 100,000 or 81,443 pounds in your weird currency in church donations between 2011 and 2018 and spent that money on boyfriends he met on the app Grindr.
Not weird currency. I prefer to call it Doctor Who money. Thank you very much.
Doctor Who money, but very well, I'll respect your wishes in the future. Father Joseph McLoone.
It just fits so perfectly.
Father Joseph McLoone. What? These people and their names, it's like they're destined for showing up in these articles. Father McLoone, 56, made a number of lavish purchases, including a house in New Jersey. When he was found out, he also spoke of sending money to men he met on Grindr who he had, quote-unquote, personal relationships with. Investigators claim that McLoone used JPay, first I've heard of that one, to send 1,200 or 977 Doctor Who dollars to an inmate in New York prison. That raises a lot of questions.
I'm sorry. Oh, whose currency is worth more?
It would seem.
Aren't you also using that euro?
No, not in the UK. The UK actually had an arrangement where they got to keep their particularly baffling currency. Not that the euro is that much better. I refuse to take it seriously. It looks like monopoly money.
That's fair.
Have you ever seen a euro? It's like some child emptied the Monopoly set and just, made a few of the bills larger.
We don't have euros, we have pounds. They're worth something. Euros aren't worth anything.
That's a fair statement.
Although apparently at present, as of this article, American bucks are worth much less because the Doctor Who cash, well, smaller number. In any case, he sent 1,200 to a inmate in New York prison, which really raises a lot of questions, and 1,720 US or 1,400 UK to men he met through the app. A statement from the Chester County District Attorney's Office read, Father McLoone held a position of leadership and his parishioners trusted him to properly handle their generous donations to the church. Father McLoone violated the trust of the members of the St. Joseph for his own personal gain. Father McLoone, I think they just enjoy saying Father McLoone at this point. I don't blame them. Accomplished this theft by diverting parish funds into a secret account, misappropriating fees charged to parishioners, and other fraudulent activity. The statement continued, over the next 6 years, the defendant diverted approximately $125,000 in donation checks written to the St. Joseph Parish into his account. The sources of these diverted funds include donations for the use of the church, by school, by community groups, donations from the congregation related to special collections held during masses, fees paid to the parish for weddings and funerals by those married to the church or holding funeral services for a loved one, and other gifts made out to St. Joseph's Parish. Some money from the account was recovered by authorities. The father was arrested on Wednesday following a year-long investigation, followed by a statement released by the Archdiocese. Monsignor McLoone acknowledged that some expenditures from this account were for personal expenses of an inappropriate nature, the statement read. Those expenses were related to relationships with adults that represent a violation of the standards of ministerial behavior and boundaries established by the Archdiocese. McLoone, Father McLoone, has been charged with felony theft and related crimes, and his bail was set at $50,000 or 40,721 bucks. Well, what do you think of this?
I think someone's projecting.
Do you know?
Yeah, I do. I think someone's projecting.
What is there to buy in prison? Why did he send that guy in prison money?
That is a very good question, and I would love to know the answer to that. I don't know. Apparently, we'll see what the sentencing is. I bet it's going to include an absolute metric crap ton of Hail Marys, whatever it is.
You know, well, you know, he can use the Hail Mary's final beats.
I think the problem at this point is that there's a non-zero chance he already has.
Oh yes, Father, give me more.
That would have to be a fucking fast prayer, wouldn't it?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh no.
I just found the donation.
Holy meaning to Jesus fucking Christ. Hey, came up. For a split second it came up.
It did, and I now know what went wrong. It's been fixed. Hurrah! All future donations will be perfectly visible from here on out.
I apologized for breaking it.
Cover your tracks better next time, at least.
Well, here's the thing. Don't hire security that hates you, and don't let your employees play poker with me.
Look, there's no security for this, minimal security for the streaming thing, because, again, this is my personal project, and there's a sharp limit to how much resources and funds I can divert to this, as stipulated by
I made it to the airport, guys.
No!
Well, I mean,
Congratulations
at least-
on arriving. Does this mean you have to depart shortly? If it does, then we should probably get this interview segment done next and out of the way.
But yeah, I was gonna say
Take that as a no.
at least like Tumblr and Zero get on have friends.
That's lovely.
Tumblr needed friends.
Okay, Stalvin hasn't arrived at the airport. I suspect this means I really should get those questions out of the way.
Remember, Stelvin, no Russian. That gets banned.
What?
I don't think that'll get us banned.
Who got us banned? How did you get us banned?
I just said to Stelvin, remember, no Russian. So like,
Oh,
the,
yes.
the outrage
and-
of that.
Yeah.
The outrage of that's gone now, isn't it? It's...
Yes, remember that the airport security has absolutely no sense of humor. They're
Yeah. Yeah, oh god, yeah.
they're not allowed to have sense of humor. It's against the SOP, as I understand it. But, Stalvin, now that you've reached this airport, does this mean that you need to be departing soon, or will otherwise be distracted?
No, I'm. It just means I gotta go through the security of normal stuff and phasing. So I'll holler when I'm through that. You'll just be in my pocket.
Okay.
We
So,
put
just
it
in
up
case
to-
he doesn't have the phone muted properly, let's all make a point of not saying anything that would really alarm individuals.
Beep,
Beep.
beep, beep, beep.
No, 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 no. No. No, Gray. This,
I'm
this
sure,
isn't good.
I'm sure such a thing wouldn't actually be saying beep.
Probably not, but, you know, remember, they don't have sense of humor. They can't afford to have sense of humor. It's against the rules. Look, we'll just go into another article. Montreal Pride expels gay Hong Kong marchers blaming threats by pro-communists to sabotage the parade.
The double and triple standards of this article was absolutely incredible.
It's extraordinary. And we're going to get into it.
Okay.
Hypothetically. Parade organizers tell Hong Kong no, this requires something else. Parade organizers tell Hong Kong marchers that police warned of attempts by their opponents to disrupt the parade, but Montreal police deny issuing the alert. A lone Hong Kong gay rights activist was trailed by dozens of demonstrators who sang the Chinese anthem during a moment of silence for the victims of AIDS and bigotry. They really not know what happens to gays in communist regime?
The gays tend to get shot because they don't reproduce.
But, you know, they're going to sing the Chinese national anthem. That's brilliant. This from the South China Morning Post. Prominent Hong Kong gay rights activist Francis Tang Yue Kwong flew to Canada expecting to march in Montreal's annual Pride Parade alongside a group of LGBTQ immigrant Hong Kongers. Oh, hey, it's Hong Kongers. Your rights team. Hong Kongers. That's a fun to say.
Prefer, like Hong Kong citizens, Hong Kongers.
I suppose
Hong
Kongese
Kongese.
doesn't. Does Kongese work? Get it with Kongese?
They don't mind Kongese. Just don't call them Chinese because that's disrespectful.
Remember, if you come across a Hong Konger probably fleeing their country, don't call them China.
What about King
Yeah,
Kong?
it's like calling a how do you put it? Korean. It's like calling a South Korean a North Korean. You don't do that shit. That's rude.
And I'm back now.
Oh, welcome back. Well, that went fairly smoothly, so you probably remembered to mute your phone, so they didn't hear the commentary. Good call there.
Of course, I had it on not speakerphone, but just my regular setup.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we're reading about Hong Kong marchers who were silenced at a Canadian parade. And as soon as we go through this in the next article, we'll start the interview segment. But Tang was instead forced to march on a route by himself in his rainbow t-shirt after Montreal Pride organizers expelled the group Action Free HKMTL because of what the organizers called threats of sabotage by pro-communists. Members of a WeChat group had discussed following Action Free HKMTL members, then beating them up after the march. Action Free HKMTL supporters then supports the Hong Kong protest movement. Not really, though. Although Tang is not a member, and he said he just wanted some company on the 2.7 kilometer walk. He was separately invited by Montreal Pride because of his efforts to set up a Hong Kong Pride March and his advocacy for gay rights. Well, he supported them, and they sure left him out to dry.
Right, Jesus.
Action Free HKMTL's co-founder, Henry Lam, blasted Montreal Pride for surrendering to threats of violence by retracting the group's registration. Why did they give in like this, Lam asked. Well, here's the bottom line. As for Tang, he wasn't entirely alone in the Canadian March on August 18th. He found himself trailed by dozens of flag-waving pro-China demonstrators who walked parallel to the official parade. This is apparently a photo of the gent right here. Just extraordinary. Look, a Canada Pride Parade expelled a group supporting Hong Kong because communists threatened to sabotage the Pride Parade. When has that ever been a valid excuse for expelling a group? Yes, we're going to go ahead and capitulate to the threats of effectively terrorists in support of a regime that would be in the habit of doing terrible things to LGBTQ people. But because some of their number are really useful, huge idiots, they're going to render the man vulnerable.
A lot of there's a lot of these retraining camps, basically like re-education camps of LGBT people, and according to a few survivors from those camps, one of the things is every single day they are raped. They are raped of the opposite gender. Every day. Yeah, that's why I don't really like SJWs very much.
That is terrible, but at the same time, I think that there's got to be a problem with some gaming the system there. And if you're a lonely straight guy in China, if you're willing to, really roll the dice on getting out alive, hey, that's one way to lose your virginity.
Jesus Christ.
I
Called
guess
Hamasi.
so, but-
Yes, I just discovered I'm gay. And I suppose they must go out of the way to make it deeply unpleasant there, which...
Hello, yes,
Yeah,
I
they
like
make it
education.
very
I am a
unpleasant.
homosexual man, yes.
Yes. Yes,
They make it extremely unpleasant.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
so,
basically gonna be like a fucking gulag.
yeah.
At the
It's
same
like a
time, though,
gulag, but with
you
rape.
think they would try to make it enjoyable, because otherwise aren't you just reinforcing the homosexuality at that point, if it's not a pleasant
I think they'd be
experience?
programming through fear rather than positive reinforcement.
I'll
Yeah.
stick no carrot, huh? Well, that would make sense. The unauthorized group who were videoed singing the Chinese national anthem during the traditional moment of silence to victims of AIDS and homophobic violence did not say anything to Tang, but made him feel so quote-unquote uncomfortable he wrapped up his Hong Kong pride flag and left the parade early. When I walked, they walked. When I stopped, they stopped, Tang said to the pro-China crowd. Tang said he had no idea the intentions of the group, nor whether they were trying to interact with him in a positive or negative way. Well, let's see, he's supporting Hong Kong protesters. They're singing the Chinese national anthem. I have a feeling that their interactions were meant to be rather negative.
Oh my.
The South China Morning Post can identify and contact the pro-China marchers. They were led for part of the parade by a man dressed in a pink shirt and chinos, apparently mimicking the pride parade garb typically worn by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
You mean Justina Trudeau? Sorry, he lost his bank card long ago.
True. It's pretty
Every
clear
day
that...
we get further from God.
Yeah.
Mate, we fucking killed him.
Trudeau is so far indeed. And it's pretty clear at this point, he's not even a real Prime Minister. He's just an actor they hired for the role.
I never really get like Western communists because none of them know what communism is.
No.
Not proper communism.
Well, see, and the ones that do are in complete denial about it. Got just a lot of extraordinarily mentally detached people on Twitter, especially the internet commies, who think that Stalin's regime is misunderstood.
And like these middle class kids, the gated communities are all in a communism. They might try and lead a communist revolution, but the actual, like, I guess the what would be the communist kind of proletariats, they'd end up actually killing them, for not following communism properly.
Well, it's actually not even just the kids. It's like a lot of Russians, of the older generation, not the younger. Like the younger generation's like, no, we don't want communism, and the old generation's going, we want communism because they're nostalgic of the USSR. Because now a lot of people did die in the USSR, and it's really, really bad and all that stuff. But the thing is that there were some people that actually benefited from the USSR. When it left, it basically crashed around them. But what they don't tend to think about is the
People who didn't
millions
benefit?
upon millions of people that have like
Died horribly?
suffered.
Yeah.
Or suffered.
Death toll that dwarfs anything pulled off by
Anything
notorious
else?
historical bad man Hitler himself. But those deaths are the only ones that count, because the communists mostly just killed their own people, so it was okay apparently.
I mean, for Christ's sake, did the Black Plague even kill more than communism? I don't think it did.
Yeah, I
No,
think
not
that
really.
communism holds the record for most people killed by an ideology at the very least.
Fuck
This
me.
is why a capitalist dictatorship is the right answer, obviously.
I don't know about that, but I can definitely tell you, and that's why communism is the wrong answer.
Well, I mean, no one ever tried capitalist dictatorship, so it's bound to work.
I don't know, China's getting pretty close at this point.
Speaking of Hong Kong FP reports that it's a natural reaction for a gun-wielding officer to kick kneeling man, Hong Kong police say. Hong Kong police have defended officers' decision to draw their guns in Suanwon, no idea if that's correct, on Sunday, adding that it was a quote-unquote natural reaction for one officer to kick a kneeling, unarmed man when faced with life-threatening circumstances. Sunday's clashes saw live ammunition fired for the first time in the city's 12-week protest. Officers clashed with protesters on Shasui Road in Suanwon around 8 p.m. following a march in the afternoon. 6 officers drew their weapons because their lives were under threat to protect themselves, other officers, and people at the scene. 1 officer fired a warning shot into the air, which did not hit anyone, said Senior Superintendent Yolanda Yu of the Police Public Relations Branch. The officer acted heroically and with restraint, and the force used under the circumstances was necessary and reasonable, she added. During the police dispersal operation on Charles Louis Street, a middle-aged man in grey tank top knelt on the ground and urged officers not to shoot. He was then kicked by an advancing officer who was pointing his gun at the crowd.
Multitask. Kick the guy on the floor, shoot the people on the crowd.
Yep. This was a natural reaction, you said, adding that it was difficult for police officers to distinguish between violent and non-violent protesters.
This is why I deal my opium with the Hong Kongers.
I think you has to be pretty high on something. Look, it can be hard in some cases to tell peaceful protesters from violent protesters, but I think we can all agree that if they are kneeling on the ground with their hands open, saying things like, please don't shoot, probably not all that violent. Maybe,
Yeah, that's
maybe
why.
save,
I
maybe
mean, to be
save the
fair,
boot
they
for another
followed
one.
through.
They
They followed through. They did not shoot.
That's why I deal my opium with the Hong Kongers. Fuck the Chinese.
During Sunday's
I
clashes,
also
police
hear
arrested.
that people sometimes use those tactics where they trick you into believing that they're not.
It's possible, but I'm thinking if that's your concern, you don't get close enough to put a boot in their face anyway.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah, that was just a terrible stunt to pull. And the defense of it makes him look that much stupider. But suffice to say, once again, deep sympathies to the people of Hong Kong. I hope the Hong Kongers are able to somehow avoid creeping Chinese totalitarian rule. But if that fails, I for one would like to propose a involuntary exchange system where we round up all the unironic communists and trade them for the Hong Kongers who appreciate things like Pepe and capitalism and not being kicked while kneeling.
Or being abused by corporations from America using them as sweatshop labor.
Yes, but happens even more on the Chinese rule. If you want to get on the better side of capitalism, you definitely don't do it in China.
That's fair.
Egypt says like he doesn't agree. Kneeling means jack shit. He could still be a threat, which is true.
This is not the correct way to handle it even then.
Yeah.
The natural
That's,
reaction... There's nothing natural about the reaction of needing to put a boot in their face to somehow resolve things.
Well, if in any situation I've ever had to deal with someone supposedly surrendering, even in training, I always kept my distance. I never got too close until someone else, at least 3-1, me, 2 other people, and that individual were there. So that way they can either restrain them if necessary or deal with them in such a way as a non-lethal or non-abusive way. Just like I don't want to get too close to be ambushed or something similar.
Well, that's the wise approach. Look, from any angle, this was stupid as hell. If this man had been a violent protester, if you look at these photos here, if he knew what he was doing, he could have tipped that officer right over, taken the gun, and gone on a spree.
Oh, I agree with you. And that's what I'm saying is like there's smart ways to deal with it than actually getting and doing bad things.
Yeah, this was not smart on any level.
Nah.
I believe it.
Miss Steam donated a lemon, saying go sock on a lemon.
Once again, thank you ever so much, Steam. Your support means so much to me. Look, we need to get to the interview segment. We have 15 minutes from reading, but there's one very special article that I think needs to be read for everyone. Yeah. Not every woman day ejaculate. The question, way make dem start, Pussypedia, free online vagina encyclopedia. This by Stefania Galzer of BBC News Monday. This is, of course, the BBC.com Pigeon section.
I believe Froman wanted Miss Steam to read this.
Oh,
Wait,
Steve,
what?
did you want to read this article?
Froman wants you
Slow,
to.
horrible reading.
The authors of Pussypedia say most women know about their body and how to take care of them.
I mean,
Oh, so was
I
the person
can-
who made this autistic?
No, but they, well, actually, there probably is some autism involved in the whole existence of this site. But BBC
There's-
Pigeon has been
there's a-
running for some time, and I love it because, you know, if you're ever feeling really depressed or you're seeing some really bad news making the rounds, if you read it in Pigeon, you'll immediately be able to disregard it because it's impossible to take seriously anymore.
Wait, is it actually written by a pigeon?
No, Pigeon is well, it's not even one language. It's basically a description of a type of language that is a hybridization of several languages. In this case, just badly butchered English.
So I can read it. I can read it, but the only way I can actually read it where it makes sense is if I chav.
Yes, good point, actually.
Do you want
God,
to read it?
I'm gonna-
You know what? We'll trade off on this. You can take this next paragraph.
Oh, I do want to apologise to Shadow Wolf 87. He says, "Hey, don't insult us autists. We aren't that dumb."
Yes,
Have to-
there are a lot of
have to
very good
summarize.
autists out there.
Speech.
Very aware artists who do great work. So
I like the ones that
that was a
got
bit unfair.
weaponized.
I apologize to the self-aware artists out there. They don't deserve that. But Steam, did you want to read the article?
Okay. Okay, I got Chana 13-year-old self. This question may come up for 2016 because serious fight between America, Torpaz Zoe Melderson, and her boyfriend that time. Since then, Ben no Gray. Whoa.
Yeah, what?
On Dementor.
The Dementors?
So dem Google.
Wait,
And suddenly this
Dementors
turned
on
into
Google?
a
'Cause that
very
makes
exotic
sense,
Harry
soul
Potter
sucking
slash fic.
bastards.
That's the best I can do. It's very, very hard to read this.
Okay.
It's very hard to listen to as well.
Let me try it again. Zoe tell BBC say na yay informate dem fine so quote I decide to enter medica journals instead. But she no get answer from dia too. Quote I no understand anything. I been know which part of body dem day talk or we a dem day or wetin dem day do. 2 years later, Zoe and her friend Maria Conejo, Mexican illustrator, start Pussypedia, where be free online encyclopedia, where they provide trustworthy informate about women dem body.
Oh, dear, it's just the Dem Day talk, or we a Dem Day, or what in Dem Day do. It just sounds like a shitty song. Like this thing or some shitty rhyme.
You want to know something really
It does sound
baffling?
like that kills me.
You know what's really baffling about this? I guarantee you that was not what was actually said in those quotes. After all, this is Zoe Mendelson. I'm pretty sure she didn't say any of that crap, but they translated it into Pigeon.
Translated it into chav.
Zoe Mendelson search for better informate on top her body make am create Pussypedia. You were saying, Stalvin?
You know when people's voices start roboting and it gets really difficult to pick out certain syllables and such? This is the text equivalent of it. It's like they're trying to write something down and it's getting lost in static and this is all you can get back.
What need really day?
A while back in the US, there was something along the lines of a fad called Ebonics. The idea that you had to take all of the urban slang and turn it into its own subset of language that had to be taken very seriously. The UK basically did that, but with Pigeon. and are
See,
still
my
producing
metal
news
buddy taught
articles.
me Ebonics.
Still say this is Chavlish.
Oh, you've learned, Ebonics? Hey, what would be really funny if they had a good translator, so we could switch it from Ebonics to Pigeon and back.
I can try. I'm a little rusty.
Oh,
If I had to do it Rosetta Stone style, I'd probably be like level 1 basic.
well, do you want to try reading a paragraph from this? Can you see
I
it?
can
For?
try.
Easy's just come out and chat. Faux shizzle my nizzle.
Oh, for sure. That's what that means. Please go ahead and send me that.
Oh, right.
Should I carry on?
Yes, go ahead and take the next paragraph while I get the article to Stalvin.
Okay, 13-year-old me. Day for this Kane project. After all, we don't enter 21st century well. We don't go through the hashtag Me Too movement, and we get sex education all over the world. All the information way day internet. Maria.
This is extraordinary because, again, just disregarding the pigeon translation here, there's no shortage of information on genitals in general, especially on the internet. I'm pretty sure existing encyclopedias on the internet can tell you most anything you need to know when it comes to crotch maintenance. But they had to go ahead and make their own for reasons. Well, and if you have the article up, you're welcome to...
Indecipherable.
Well, I'm pretty sure the encyclopedia isn't written in Pigeon, although that would be hilarious.
Like, it's just how chavs talk. I think it's just Chav writing this.
I can understand chavs
it's
better. Like, I can go up to him and say, look, I have no fucking clue what you're saying, mate, but I can still pick out certain words and kind of follow the body language. I'm fucking...
Why is Chav codified? Is there a BBC Chav channel? Is there a BBC section for Chav news?
How do I explain chavs to Americans? They're like the English ghetto people. They're like really ghetto, but also kind of white trash.
A tragic echo of class systems. I think I get it. If one of you can find me BBC Chav, that sounds like some fantastic reading right there. Meanwhile, Stalvin, do you have the article open? Would you like to start? We're at Maria used 2 sentences to answer.
Oh my god! Like I just literally googled BBC Chav, and the second thing that pops up: in defense of Chav porn, BBC 3.
Chavs. They're just basically scum of the earth.
We're definitely coming back to this one next Wednesday if we can find some BBC Chav articles.
Can someone explain to me what chav means?
Explain it.
Chav is basically a term for, I suppose, as to an American perspective, it would be considered slang in use by the the trailer park dwellers, the lowest rung of society that has been so isolated from the rest of society, they've created their own society and language to go with it.
Yeah, that's basically chavs.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
Like chavs are really stupid people, but very violent people as well. And they tend to be benefit stealers usually.
So, I've watched some of your football games. Does that mean that most of the time there's riots when someone wins or loses is chav?
Oh mate, football games are chav breeding grounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
You
just
don't want to go to a
curious.
football game, probably around chavs.
So apparently they are all
Is Jason Statham a chav?
Oh god, no.
Violent people, like the amount of times where I've just been near a chav, not even talked to them or look at them, just been near them, because of the way I dress, they straight up just whacked me in the back of the head. They're just stupid, violent people, and to be honest, a waste of space.
This is why you never leave your armaments at home. But,
What armaments?
well, Steam hypothetically should have some.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Well, my
whenever
first are.
whenever I
I could
go-
literally just kick the shit out of them, but
I go
If this were a
into
side
the
quest,
future.
we would have actually killed you right now for breaking the fourth wall. I mean, they would have, not me. I mean, I wouldn't do that. And that's a much more
right.
complex show than this one, so... Never mind. Stelvin, did you want to
Talking about-
read a section?
All right, you'll have to remind me what section we got to. This
We're
is
at
just
Maria
interesting
used 2
reading when it's-
sentences to answer. It's not obligatory.
Yeah. What answer? Like they literally.
Sorry, I had to put it on my Chrome to open it so I could read it and hit push to talk.
Okay.
I'm just reading this. I just can't. I don't understand a lot of it. Like, what is this about again? What is the article?
It's fascinating. It's like putting a article through translate to Japanese, then back again until it's almost unintelligible, but this is how it started out.
Yes. Do you know what? That is it. You fucking hit the nail on the head there. That is exactly it.
I'm pretty sure if you run this through Google Translate, Google just says no.
Fuck off, you degenerate. You got it yet, Salvin?
My voice activation isn't working, so I have to do push to talk. All right, so it's Maria uses 2 sentences.
Yes. And if you're saying anything, we can't hear him, I'm afraid.
I had to split the screen.
Ah.
I'm super high fancy. Maria uses 2 sentences to answer information and power. Information and power and shame dangerous. Zoe to add say, I think they say to overhype the progress on top of gender equality. So, do you want me to translate this ago, or do you want me to just read this straight? Because I can go even more.
You're trying to read it. I can see that you're by default trying to make sense of it and say it in a way that isn't sheer gibberish.
Yeah.
But,
Brain just has to try. It has to try
Well, I
and
mean, if you
translate.
just scramble letters, you'll eventually read most jumbled, as long as the first and last letters right.
Assuming they have that right, information, not power, and shame day dangerous. What they're saying in those 2 sentences have no clear intersection with the topic in general.
Of course, the information is power, and it's a shame they're dangerous. Is just has no point.
Yep.
Let's see. We're at we still the world way, yet plenty inequality and shame when we come to body and sexuality. When it comes to body and sexuality, even though society doesn't say more open-minded, we still say hide this matterdom.
Yeah, that wasn't not at all.
This matter them. Okay, so I get it.
I
We
don't.
still say hide this. We still say hide this matter then. It's talking about the hidden views of sexuality and their bodily autonomy. Dear God, am I going to be a translator?
You know, if you want to get practice, I suppose BBC Pigeon is the way to go. Maria
I'd rather
Corneo,
try
one
to
news.
read Vulgothan.
Vulgothan.
Sorry for interrupting, boss.
No worries, Vulgothan. I have had no experience with it, but if it sounds worse than this, I'll be amazed. Maria Corneo, one use her drawing change how Pippo they see women body. Zoe Maria, with help from Plenty Oda collaboration launch Pussypedia for July. This site way don't get past 130,000 visitors since Dem Start Day find answers about topics like how to watch vulva and how insecticides fit affect fertility. With better proof, but Dem never fit answer every question. I still day find answer to my original question. Zoe talk. Plenty information no day plus disagreement on top. Science of human body. We never even sabi decaying tissue day for clitoris.
Steam donated a lemon saying lemons are great for cuts.
That's just wow.
I feel brain cells dying.
Yes, I think we have to stop this. Besides, we already got an hour, so now I suppose we should try to get this whole interview segment out of the way. Stalvin, I understand that you have a YouTube channel.
I do.
Great, if you could pass out in chat. What have you been doing with your YouTube channel?
What was that?
What have you been doing with your YouTube channel thus far?
Well, I've been doing half-assed tutorials. I take kind of like a Bob Ross's approach. I show you what I'm doing when I'm working metal. So far, we're sticking with the simple things like knives. So I just kind of show you what I do. I tell you what kind of metal I'm using, how I'm going to start working it, temperatures, and stuff. In the end, it's just a journey for me and the viewer as I grow as a smith so they can watch me become better and better.
And to clarify, Stalvin and Stalvin's Forge, the channel accordingly, is going to help you understand more about at least knife smithing for the time being as an aspiring forge master. I'm quite jealous. I don't have the space for a personal forge myself. But
I really like the idea of a Bob Rossian blacksmith.
I agree wholesale, and I look forward to seeing tutorials in the future. I'm going to have to probably catch up myself. Here's a happy little steel bar. Here's a happy little hammer.
Yeah, if you could get like a big afro wig or something, and just like do the calmest fucking like blacksmithing, but really fucking
catch
get
on
them in
fire.
Listen to Mr. Happy Hammer sing.
But remember, it's like was it happy accidents?
We're going to upset the steel now. Don't worry about making any mistakes. It just adds character to your finished product.
Exactly. Beautiful.
I think you're onto something here, Stalin. This could be big.
Well, the thing is, since the forge is actually pretty loud when on the camera, I'm actually talking fairly loud, but the sounds around me drown it out. So I sound a lot more subdued than I actually am in the forge.
I might suggest you could actually speak and then just voice over yourself in editing if you can stand to do that.
But really make it obvious as well. Like, make it really fucking obvious.
Yes, you do a Bob Ross segment with a throw on, but you aren't going to catch fire, and that'd be terrible. Probably go viral in short order, but I don't want to encourage anyone to injure themselves. That's a brilliant skit. And there's probably at least some portion of the smithing you can do with a throw wig that isn't likely to result in...
Oh, of course. There's always the grinding or the hand filing aspects. I could do it completely old-fashioned and hand file everything into shape and use like a whetstone.
You can voice over when you're working the forge, and then do the speaking when you're doing the filing. That happy little filing action.
That should be pretty good.
Soothing the steel. If you upset earlier, but it's going to be all right.
Oh, yes.
Quite like knives.
Yeah, I think definitely got something there, Stalin. And I think everyone here who's watching should at least consider subscribing to Stalvin's. Especially at 100, with a much better custom address than I have.
If you got not to.
What?
His channel is in the chat, so what excuse have you got to not subscribe?
Now, I forewarned the future possible viewers that I'm going to be doing some hurricane relief from here on today till about 2 months from now, so I won't be able to be in the forge anytime soon. This was a last-minute mission deployment for my...
Well, I think they'll be understanding. Besides, they've got a backlog to go through first. And, if they subscribe, they'll just be aware whenever you do have something up. I don't think anyone who watches me expects canned content of any sort from anyone else regularly. I've really got to do something.
That's fair.
I'm so
It's all about taking your time.
so far behind. I've failed my audience. But that's besides the point. How long have you been working at YouTube thus far?
With actual recording for forging, it's probably been maybe a year or two coming.
Very good.
I think I started filming last year in the winter.
You mentioned earlier Volgothan. I take it you are a fan of Jarl Falstaff as, hypothetically, the war chief.
Yes, I enjoy it. I've been helping actually hammer out some lore that we eventually try to have to get Jeremy to approve for his world with Magog and Morscar.
Well, hypothetically, I have it on fairly good authority. Sunday will feature the premiere of the War Chief on side quest Sunday, the B Team. Da, 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 da.
Outstanding! I can't wait.
It's going to be something. Not that I need to worry about it. After all, it's not like I'll be running the show or anything. Oh dear. Well, look, I think we're a bit over schedule, but since we had you on time after all, we don't need to go on for a full other hour. But I could take a quick poll of all of you here in voice chat and in the audience. Should I finish reading the entire article on BBC Pigeon regarding Pussypedia?
Go on, man. Don't think I've had quite enough cancer today.
Well, I could be abused a little bit longer. I got 3 minutes.
Okay.
I like seeing you torture yourself. Yeah.
Well, this one doesn't actually hurt me that much, because I'm aware that you're all suffering with me. But very well, we'll wrap it up. What is the chat saying, Gray?
The chat is... I'm afraid not saying very much. We got Cole coming in saying they pigeonify the short common words, but the rarer longer ones are in normal form. Literally zero effort, which is a very good...
Not to mention the fact they pigeonify quotes, which is something you really shouldn't be doing.
Izu says that the closest approximation to a chav would be to add a W onto the front of a word I'm not allowed to say. And we got Izu saying, go for it. I'm not foaming at the mouth yet, so continue.
Okay. One sprint to the rest of the article, and then we shall call it a show. Dem no day do Penispedia. According to Zoe and Maria, dem no day study female private parts the way dem day study man own. Now why dem talk say dem no seed for Penispedia? The people way found Pussypedia talk about women bodies without any taboo. Zoe talk say, if you search penis for medical journal, you go see plenty tins, no be the same if you day find vagina. But Maria talk say, because information day no mean say men, sabi dia body as pride, no day let dem check. But
Damn
women...
right, sister, she's right.
Women want know. So when Maria and Zoe start to crowdfund for the project, them hit their target within 3 days, and at the end of the day, raise 22,000 over 3 times what in dem been day find.
Preach it.
This not open vulva. Hopefully this is sufficiently vague as to not cause issues. The website one start day make money by giving readers chance to sponsor articles dem want, and also to day sell tins way get Maria drawings dem. For now, Zoe, still day hope, say she go fit right article way answer her first question, not every woman day ejaculate?
What?
I have no idea. But they're selling arts too. Isn't that great?
Why does this need to exist?
And what is it with stories like this and people named Zoe?
Oof.
It's like
I
a
won't go into it now,
phenomenon-
but
It's like a phenomenon I have with the name Judith. Anyone who's named Judith is like this really salty bitch. Like a person who can't have any fun is just an absolute salty bitch all the time and really
And that's
bossy and shit.
won't go into it now. But there was another story of a woman called Zoe, and I think we all know what it is.
Oh my.
I
Yes.
don't know. I have the weird thing whenever I meet a Judith, like they're just really cunty and horrible person. It's like
Please note, anyone in the audience named Judith, that this is only according to Steam's personal experiences, and I have nothing against you, nor do I presume that Judiths in America are as prone to being salty harpies.
I agree. I've seen that happen.
Okay, well, look, I tried. And I think that's about wrapping things up here. Again, please do keep an eye out for videos from Stallman's Forge and, take a look at it. Bob Ross of smithing, ladies and gentlemen. That's a concept with promise.
You're too kind.
I think that's just absolutely brilliant. And you can always go the opposite way to a fro. Bald cat maybe keeps your hair out of the fire's way.
True. We'll look into some things. Whenever my editor gets back, or if I get a new one, we'll see what we can do.
You have an editor?
I did. He is currently, well, let's just say he's indisposed for a while.
I'm jealous. I can't afford. Not in my budget.
I'll do it for free,
It's
Arthur.
mostly I just supplied him drinks and he edited for me.
I will keep that in mind. On all regards. Thank you for being my guest, Alvin. I will have a souvenir to you in the near future. I just didn't really know where to go with representing your Discord avatar and couldn't something in time. Whoops!
It's been a pleasure being here.
It's been a pleasure having you. And on that note, apparently, if anyone's in the Boston area, the Memes Destruction is promoting a rally to restore sanity and/or turtles. And it already happened, so never mind, screw that. Cheers! Ostensibly progress
show.
continues. Until next time, ostensibly progress continues. Oh, right! Please stay tuned for the Direwolf Weekend News Roundup. What? Has the name changed? The Direwolf Show coming up. And Sunday will be the obligatory hour with Steam on Frenemies Forever. With several hours after that being Side Quest Sunday, with the premiere of Jarl Falstaff as the War Chief, and being run by that weirdo Arketer, who definitely isn't me.
It's on at a retarded time in the morning that I can't watch.
I'm gonna make
Yep.
this show so fun for you, Arketer. It's gonna be great.
And of course, hopefully there will be a side quest on Monday as well, for those of you interested in that sort of thing. Until next time, ostensibly progress continues. Cheers!
Bye.
Tag Steam Spikes after.
That was fun.